it's a tribal thing, and it just takes over you, and then you don't have to think about like all the other problems, and you can just communicate with strangers this way, you know. Even when you're in a crowd, like in a mosh pit, you can just like, hey, it's cool, and that gives me hope. And so I want to keep. I'm going to keep doing this. Yeah. Paris is sleeping, but I'm not sleepy. Walking in the same old streets.
Hello, my name is Elian Perez and you're listening to Are You an Artist? Today's episode is with Elian Lion and it's about music and songwriting, David Bowie and pop art in public transport. Elian is hilarious and so interesting. I loved doing today's montage and I am sure you will be a fan too after listening to this wonderful recording. Enjoy! Like a stranger in my own town.
Hello, hello, hello.
Okay.
I'm a Elian Lion.
Okay.
Today.
I think it's good. Today? Tomorrow?
Today and tomorrow. And the day after.
Okay, breathe.
Yeah, I'm a bit nervous. Yeah, it's true.
No, I was talking to myself.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay.
It's summertime.
It's spring today, actually.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Woo!
So, Elian the Lion, I wrote you a letter.
The only lion.
Yeah, you are. Dear Elian Lion, we met on set working as essays for a movie, and everybody found your look fabulous. Me too. We started to talk, and I wasn't surprised to hear that you were a musician. I asked if I could listen to your music, and you gave me name of 4 different bands, Spirits of Saturn, Green Seagull, Happymess and Eliphant. I haven't seen you play for a gig yet, but in the meantime, I would love to hear more about your journey. Elian, are you an artist?
Yes, hello. Yes, I think, yeah, I am an artist. Yeah. That's it. That's a fact. I'm just an
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you. It was a pleasure. Eileen.
So when did it start?
It started at a very early age. The first symptoms of being an artist. Yeah, we could go way back. So I was a kid at a party. Like my parents had friends. They had friends. Crazy. And these friends had a party somewhere. And there happened to be a piano in there. And they were in a room like drinking and talking. And I was in the room next to it, playing a bit of piano. Mm-hmm. Well, I didn't know how to play, so I was just banging the thing. But apparently I was like very passionate about it. So it grabbed everyone's attention at one point. So I'm like, what's going on? It was like free jazz or something. So I think, because I had very good parents, they were like, oh, maybe he's interested in doing music or something.
How old were you?
I must have been 3.
Wow.
Yeah. But I don't know.
So
I can't remember it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. And I got piano lessons when I was 5 years old for a little bit, but I didn't really like it. Really like
because it wasn't jazz?
Yeah, because it was like so theoretical and stuff. And it's like, I mean, I didn't have the patience at the time. It's like how to put your fingers and stuff. And I was already into more rock and roll and stuff like that. Sounds crazy, sorry.
No back.
Yeah. No, which I like now very much, but I fell in love with David Bowie's music when I was 5.5.
Wow.
Because he was on French TV for a show called Nulle part ailleurs.
Wow.
And I remember I was made to go to bed like very early at the time because I was very young. And I heard the music, I think, from my bed, and I just got up and went in front of the TV like, oh, who is this? You know.
So cool.
My parents thought I just wanted to like stay up at first, but I was really into it. And my dad had a CD of Bowie that just came out at the time, which was called Earthling. A friend offered it to him, so I ended up just listening to the CD a lot. And then I was like, I want more. And then
wow,
I got more CDs. Became a Bowie collector at a young age, kind of. And it was just so inspiring. I don't know, something in the music just reached me. It's hard to describe. And the image too, but it was just... loved it. And he had a Union Jack jacket on the cover of that album. a British flag. And I was like, wow, it's so cool. And I kind of wanted to be English from that point on a
wow.
bit. Yeah. So then that's probably the reason why I'm here, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you grew up in Paris, right?
I grew up in Paris, yes.
Yeah.
In Montmartre, yeah.
Already very artistic as well.
Yeah. My mom was a painter and my dad's a guitarist. So,
Oh, wow.
Recipe for...
That's so cool. I want your parents.
Yeah. How to be a millionaire, like, I'm joking. Yeah, you know what I mean. Artistic, yeah.
So after the piano, did you pick another instrument?
Yeah. It was drums after that, actually, because when I was banging the piano at a young age, maybe I was more interested in that. And I loved, drums. Like, I took some lessons over the years, till I was like 13, 14.
Okay.
And then I switched to guitar at that point.
Okay, classical guitar.
It was a folk guitar at first. There was guitars lying around at my place, but I never wanted to ask my dad to teach me because I was too proud or something. You know, sometimes it's hard to ask your parents.
Yeah.
But I had a friend / neighbor at the time who was learning the guitar.
Okay.
And so I'd go to her place and she showed me how to play a song by Michel Polnareff called La poupée qui fait non.
Oh, yes, I know.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, it's like 3 chords. So she kind of taught me that. And then I never looked back. I just went like...
You fell in love.
Yeah, I got into Nirvana and like the White Stripes and I started to like learn these songs. You know, you could go on the internet, learn from tabs and stuff.
Yeah.
With little numbers, you know, on the lines and stuff. And you'd be like, this is where you put your fingers.
That's
like the
what I'm
easy
learning
version.
now.
Yeah.
Because I've just started to learn the guitar as well. So yeah, it's slow.
yeah, it's slow.
It's
I mean, the
slow.
first year or and a half, it's like not very satisfying.
Exactly.
It hurts.
Yeah.
It's like a very long plateau, but I feel like then you suddenly get better.
Cool.
I'd say. You know?
And did you go to a conservatoire or?
No, I went to a sort of music school for drums. We were all like young kids. I think I was 8, 9, etc.
Yeah.
But it wasn't classical. It was more like modern music stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Bit blues, rock, jazz, kind of.
Yeah. And as a teenager?
As a teenager, like the guitar, I was just playing it instead of doing my homework. Like it was a great motivation. Like really the best motivation. It's like, oh, you got something in maths to do. I just pick my guitar.
And play while learning the math or?
Instead,
okay.
Probably, but not realizing that I'd play like 1 hour or 2 every day because, you know.
Just wanted to, yeah.
Yeah. And there was no pressure at all at the time as well. It was purely because I wanted to do it, you know. It's like, it's good. You're not thinking like, oh,
I need to improve and get this skill.
And this and that. And I need to, it was purely passion, pleasure, And at the same time, I started to write songs as well.
Oh, wow.
Because like Kurt Cobain and all these guys, Sex Pistols as well. Like when I was teenage angst, like started to come up. So I had things to say. Like I was like,
this isn't fair.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, anarchy, you know, like all this stuff, which is great.
And so when it came about like finishing high school, what did you do? Did you study?
Yeah, I was like in science kind of course thing at school. I mean, in France, you know, it was
you choose between science, economics, or literature.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah, I also did science. But
you did, because this I did opened more doors.
Yeah. Great reason to kind of pick a subject. Is
it's like if you don't, this is better. It's like, well, and literature, I think I could have done well probably. I was just a bit.
Yeah, because I guess texts and stuff.
I don't know if I was confident enough though at the time about writing my thoughts, like in terms of academically speaking. It's like philosophy, like they teach you that so young, and it's only afterwards where you start to live and
you're like, wow, yes, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, school was all right. I was glad to get out of there. I registered to do like a sort of maths uni.
Wow.
And at the same time, a music school near where I used to live in Pigalle. I didn't last long in the maths uni. I just went for a month in total, you know, maybe. I just went there because my friend registered as well. So
you're like, hey, friend.
It was great. It was at the other side of Paris, like near Bibliothèque François Mitterrand. And yeah, I remember just going there one day and the teacher was late with my mate. And we were like, oh, we just looked in the room and we're like, shall we just go? And we just walked all the way back. So yeah, I mainly had like great walks at the time. And yeah, I continued the music school, which was like 2 years.
Okay.
And it was really, really fun.
Yeah.
I discovered life, you know, I mean, at the same time. Coffee breaks, and smoking cigarettes, and just like socializing with people from 18 to like 30, and musicians or any kind of people. It was really good, really freeing, I thought. Especially after school, which was so restrictive and kind of, you know, a bit scary. So, you know, when you're like worried about your future, you need to choose now what you're going to do in life.
Yeah, it's so stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah, what you're going to do with your life. It's like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I guess I was lucky knowing that I love music and all that stuff. But I don't know if there's any easy way, really. It's just different for everybody, I feel.
Yeah, yeah.
But, yeah.
And London?
In London, yeah. Oh, yeah, I need to mention, because so I did this music school for 2 years in Paris, and then I came to London. But I was 18 because I graduated early in school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You were so clever.
Yeah. Yeah. Before, yeah.
So, oh, wow, that's really great, actually, because then you're 18 and you can come here, but you've kind of already studied a bit in Paris, you know about life.
Yeah, no, it was interesting. I don't know why. It's like I was in a mad rush to be an adult or something.
Yeah.
I even got out of my mother's womb early, you know.
You're like, life!
Yeah, it's like I really wanted to be here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Since then, I'm like, really?
Let's go back.
Yeah, there's ups and downs, you know. You're like, oh, okay. Interesting world.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Very interesting times. But
what did you do when you arrived here?
I went to a youth hostel with one of my best friends who came along. I came here to the music school as well, actually.
Okay.
In Kilburn, called the ICMP. I did that for also a couple of years, yeah.
Okay.
I did a songwriting course.
Okay.
Oh, and the music school prior to that was drums, actually, where I was studying. Yeah, songwriting, which was, I already knew how to write songs. Like, they don't teach you how to write a song, really, because, I mean, personally anyway, I don't think it's something...
so unique also how you write a song, I guess. It's going to be different from person to person.
Yeah, it should be. There are kind of like rules in a way, or...
What kind of rules,
forms.
for example?
Structures, I mean, like the song, you know, like verse, chorus, bridge, chorus. But it's nice to not play by the rules. You know, it's like they say you need to learn the rules before you can break them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, perhaps that's true. And it was interesting. The best thing about it was you had to write 1 or 2 songs a week, or like fragments. And you had briefs, sometimes like topics, like write about your hometown, write about love, about being in the city, or lots of things like that. So it was really motivating. But yeah, I did feel a bit like an outcast there sometimes, but just because when I arrived here, I had all these illusions about England and English people. You know, everybody's going to be like David Bowie or the Monty Python or into rock and roll and like all this stuff. And
no?
No, not exactly. Yeah, some people are into like X Factor and these kind of things, which, you know, nothing. I don't want to be
You don't want to judge.
Don't want to judge, no. I never judge anyone. Judge myself very hard, though, so I guess, yeah. Yeah, I did that for a couple of years. And then, sorry, getting a bit...
Blackout.
Yeah, then blackout.
And now we're here.
And then I came here today.
Wow, what a life.
Yeah, what a life. If only I could remember it. Oh, in the meantime, I was discovering London and going on walks around Regent's Park and hanging around Camden a lot. Okay. And try to soak it in and getting inspired. Kind of like a bohemian.
How would you make money?
At the time, I had a student loan, so it was pretty nice. Yeah. So I was living like a king, you know. A bit. I mean, not exactly. I was in a house with 12 people at first. Yeah. Interesting. But you don't mind like when it's the first time.
Yeah.
Later on, yeah, I started to play gigs basically.
Okay. So we'd make money from music.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like playing covers.
Mm-hmm.
There's a place called Proud Camden in Camden Market where I used to play like almost every day of the week there.
Okay, wow.
It was like 2-hour gigs, playing lots of covers and sometimes my own stuff. And you'd get tips from people. So I'd go
Nice.
around with the hat and just meet a lot of people from all around the world. Like,
Yeah, wow.
yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, crazy. And also I worked in Camden Market in a record stall. Like I was selling
So cool.
records, yeah. Which is the best thing for me really because I could actually sell something I believe in, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I tried like working at All Saints and stuff. And so, didn't really work for me. Even like some interviews, like when I screwed like
you don't
royally.
believe in it, yeah.
Yeah, because they're like, they ask you some questions that are just crazy. It's like, what's your proudest achievement in life? And what?
So what is your proudest achievement in life?
At the time I said, I said just being in London, really, just coming over and like
Yeah.
staying, you know, because
Yeah.
it's kind of tough. I know people from France, for example, who just came here and stayed a year.
And then we're like, bye.
Yeah, because it is tough a bit.
Yeah, it is.
It can be lonely and obviously it's a different country. Yeah, I guess my greatest achievement is probably that actually, because I don't realize it enough, but it's like I learned a completely different language and then came here and stayed
Yeah.
here and
Especially for us French people, English is hard.
yeah.
Like it's impossible to get completely rid of your accent, I feel like.
It's true, yeah. When I come back to France, they call me the English guy, and when I'm here, they call me the Frenchie. You know, it's like you can't win.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's true. And everybody likes to take the piss out of French people as well. Like, it's okay. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah. It's like,
I allow you. We are bastards, so I'm like,
true. We're neighbors, that's why,
yeah.
you know.
And so how do you remember your first band?
Yeah, it was at school.
Wow.
I was 14, I think, or 13.
So cool.
I was playing drums. I had long hair. I was like very grungy. We got like a few different names. It was called Big Muff in the Tea. At one point. Big Muff was like a pedal, a guitar pedal. I don't think I was really aware of what it meant at the time. Also, what it could mean. Interesting. Then it was called like Recap After Use.
Okay.
And before that it was called White Spirit, but then we realized it
So
could
always
sound
English
wrong.
names.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
We would play covers by like Deep Purple or Hole or just anything, and we wrote like a couple of originals, and we did some Battle of the Bands kind of thing.
Wow.
It was fun
Wow.
on the school night, you know.
And now you have so many.
Yeah, I've been in many bands over the years, probably 20
Wow.
different projects what I've been into, sometimes just for a gig.
And would you manage? Because, yeah, obviously it's finding the time to meet people and when you have so many at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, it was spread over.
Of course, for 20, but...
Yeah. That'd be absolutely mental. Yeah. No, there's been times where I was in no band as well, but not for long because I really enjoy playing with people as well. At the moment, I'm focusing on my own stuff, really.
Okay.
I'm recording at home. So
Okay.
I just moved houses, so it's like I'm settling everything together. But yeah, I'm pretty happy. I'm in a good place now.
So are you recording like a solo album or?
Yeah, I recorded 2 tracks with a friend
Okay.
recently. They're almost finished, and I plan to release the first track in a month. Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect timing.
Yeah.
Wow. Because this episode's gonna go out next Friday, so...
Nice. Yeah, it'll be out.
Keep an eye on what's...
Keep your eyes peeled and your ears peeled. I'm my own boss as well, you know. That's the thing about being...
Yeah.
You are your own boss.
Yeah, you're responsible of...
You choose your deadlines.
Yeah,
stuff.
I love that. I
Yeah.
mean, sometimes it's good to have people as well who are like, hey, you told me you were going to create this 5 years ago. Where is that? And you're like, oh.
True. Yeah, it's schizophrenic in a way. I think on the 25th of April it's going to be.
Wow.
Yes. A song called Mind the Gap.
Mind the gap
Yeah.
between the train and the platform.
Exactly. It's a song about the tube. No, it's more political than that. I think it's more like, it's about freedom and
Oh, boring.
yeah, all those old ideals like hippies and punks. No, it's great. I wrote that song a long time ago, actually, and but I also have a fascination for the tube and the design of it and everything.
The design of the tube.
Yeah, I love it. It's like pop art to me.
Yeah.
I like the colors and all this stuff.
Yeah.
It's like when I was a kid, I was a fan of like traffic signs.
Okay, wow.
Yeah. I also like visual arts, actually, but I feel like I want to go back to drawing.
Okay, so you used to draw?
Yeah, quite a lot.
Okay.
I even drew like sort of comic books a bit.
So
I really
cool.
like that kind of stuff. And tiny bit of painting, but yeah.
You're so creative.
Thank you. You too.
You could
Yeah.
So you could draw your own kind of covers and things and merchandise and stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah. I'm working on it actually for the Mind the Gap song.
Wow.
It's just about finding the right idea.
Yeah.
I have some ideas, but yeah, it's not.
That's so cool.
Mm.
And also I read on your Instagram bio that you're a tune writer.
Oh yeah, it's like songwriter.
It's like songwriter.
I just want to write something else.
Wow.
Be more original or something,
Because I was like, oh, so what does it mean? Yeah. Because I guess when you write a song, yeah, you have the lyrics, but you have also the melody. And
yeah.
How does it work for you? Like, do you have a process?
Yeah.
Does it start with the words or?
Yeah, it can happen many different ways, but often I find myself walking or doing something else, not thinking about doing music necessarily. Sometimes like your feet can make up a rhythm, and then it's like a melody would come to me, and maybe sometimes one line of lyrics with a melody attached to it.
Wow.
And sometimes it just stays one line and you're like, oh, that's a great line. And you're like, what? Yeah.
Don't know what else. That?
Yeah. Cool. Can I write more lines like that? Because, you start to think too much sometimes and be like, oh, shit. And then you try to make it rhyme and it could be good at first. And then you're like, you can never sort of force it. But yeah, I'd say the melody usually like comes first. And then I'd be able to sort of hear the chords in my head and try to figure it out once I have access to like a guitar or something like that. Other times you're just kind of like playing for fun, playing some guitar and just like do some chords and you think, oh, this is nice. And then trying to think of a melody.
And do you have stuff to record in
my house?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a laptop with how do you call it? Like a sound. I should know these things.
Sound recording stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Montage. The word we were looking for with Elian was carte son in French, which is just sound card in English.
I really love music, but sometimes like the technical aspect of it. I'm not a guitar freak about. I don't need every kind of equipment.
Yeah.
I like to just play something, and even if a guitar is like a bit wonky or a bit like
it's
not very good, yeah, it's like it creates something that's interesting. You could sort of just make everything sound good to your own liking. I don't know, but obviously it's nice to play on good equipment. I'm not gonna lie, I really like that. Yeah, I could just like record layers and layers on Logic.
Okay, so you do like the guitar and then a bit of drums and
yeah. I don't have a drum kit at home, but I can like program drums on the synthesizer. And a bit of bass, a bit of vocals, a bit of keyboards, yeah. Sometimes I would start with the guitars and the vocals, and other times we could start with the drums. Like there's no...
right order or...
No.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like the typical way if you're a band and you go into a studio, you'd start with the drums first, when the bass...
I didn't know that.
Like, yeah. There's like an order
to get the rhythm in a way. I guess, because
the band might play together, so you have like a rhythm track with like guitar, bass, drums. But then it would be mainly to keep the drums and maybe the bass if it's played well enough, and then you start redoing the guitars basically, and then adding the vocals. yeah,
Cool.
flourishes. But yeah, there's no right way of doing it, I think. I've learned, and especially nowadays, a lot of artists, even like Billie Eilish, with her brother, like they record in their bedrooms,
I'm a huge fan of their work.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like many current pop artists, but I think she's really cool. Like she's got something special. I really
Yeah.
like it. I don't know, yeah, because it's a bit original, that's the point.
Yeah, exactly.
Really.
It's like,
It doesn't sound like everything else.
and it's like also brother and sister working together can really feel that they are able to do something unique and they are not getting too tight in the I should do things like this.
Yeah.
Because I guess now when you listen to songs, it's a lot the same stuff, kind of.
Yeah.
And you can feel some rules that maybe appear. I don't know.
Yeah, probably because sometimes there's like 20 different people working on one track as well.
Yeah.
I'm sure it must become like compromise.
Confusing,
And compromise. Yeah.
You're right, actually, yeah. When you have too many people, it's almost like...
I mean, yeah.
It's good to have, I guess.
No, it can be interesting.
A bit, but it's like when you want to make a big life decision and you ask everybody and everybody's giving you a different point of view and then you get lost in the, oh, maybe I should do this or that, or maybe that's not a good idea because of... and then you're like, what should I do?
Yeah, and that's probably why it ends up sounding all kind of similar as well.
Yeah.
Because like if everybody... I don't think I'd be able to work with that many people on one track. I'd feel like I'd get lost. My voice would get lost in a way of, if you have a vision about a song that you want to achieve, like you really got to listen to yourself and not what anybody else is saying. Really.
Yeah. And to trust also, because you've done that for such a long time that you know kind of what you want.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't necessarily have a clear vision, but then you collaborate with someone, and that's great.
Yeah.
That's also really fun.
Yeah.
Really.
And working for films.
Oh, yeah.
When did you start that and how did it...
5 years ago, I think.
Okay.
Or 4 years. Yeah. A very good friend of mine was an actor, just like got me into doing this.
Cool.
It was like, you need to register and stuff. It was really motivating. I was like, okay. And there was the Sex Pistols biopic series.
Yeah.
And it was like, you should get on this. Like, they're looking for, people with like longish hair who could be in the 70s or something. I registered to Extra People and some other companies. And I got my first job a week later, I think.
Okay, wow.
Yeah. And the job that we met like a couple of weeks ago was one of the best.
Yeah, so many cool people.
Yeah, like reminded me how important it is to be around artistic people. Because
yes, you forget sometimes. Yeah.
You need to like feed yourself, like, and being around like all these people is just, it's so inspiring. And then here we are today, for example.
Exactly. Super grateful because I was like, that's why I love having this podcast, because sometimes I'm a bit shy and I meet people and that's it, But here I can be like, hey, come to my podcast,
Yeah, that's really nice.
And then you're like, hey, let's be friends, It's like...
Absolutely.
And it's so interesting to like hear about people's journeys and how they arrived where they are now. It's like, whoa, okay.
Exactly.
Do you have inspirations or recommendations?
Inspirations or recommendations?
Yeah, David Bowie, of course, is probably your...
yeah.
But like other people who inspire you, can be singers, but any...
Yeah, sure. Oh, there's so many. It's we could go back. Yeah, it's David Bowie. Yeah, obviously was major one for quite a few years, and then slowly I started to go into like Queen and the Beatles, like big time, and then Nirvana and Sex Pistols and like all this kind of stuff was really influential. That's when I started to really open up to like, I guess, rock, for lack of a better term, and just started to explore everything from the present and the past. And I got into bands like the Strokes and the White Stripes in a big way. And then I went back to like the 60s, like the Kinks and all these garage bands from the 60s. There was a compilation called Nuggets, which is amazing. Oh God, yeah.
That's good already.
The Doors, Supergrass is one of my favorite 90s bands. And last year I got really into Amyl and the Sniffers. I don't know if you know them.
No.
They're like a punk band from Australia.
Okay.
Yeah, a couple of years back, like a friend of mine, I was in Brighton with her, and she took me to a club, and one of their songs was playing, and she knew who they were, and she started dancing and like shouting the lyrics, and I was like, whoa! One of those moments where I was like, what's going on there? Because I feel like in the last few years, I kind of was less aware of newer bands because
Yeah.
you kind of, time goes by, and sometimes you can be easily stuck in your comfort zone, I suppose.
Oh,
you know?
yes, for sure.
Because it's very nice also to just listen to the same thing like
Yeah,
a
it's very
thousand times.
comforting. Yeah. You're like, I know where it's going, you know, you're
Yeah.
like, no surprise. I can kind
Exactly.
of like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a shock to the system, and they're one of my favorite bands. Is the energy that they have, and the singer is Amy Taylor, and she's one of the best front women in the business, I think. And yeah, I just love it. I just love this energy. It really helped me out because I was going through a tough time last year, just feeling like crap basically and stressed, and like
Dun, dun.
the artist life, Where am I?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just keep going through existential crisis and trying to redefine what I do, and I'm tired.
Yeah. It is
But
important
it is good, yeah.
to reflect and have doubts and everything, but I found it's just, action is the best solution.
Exactly,
sometimes.
yeah. And actually, like especially recently, I got so pissed off like that I was not taking any action. Like I was
Yeah.
saying, "Oh, I'm gonna do this, and I never did anything. And I was like, "Okay, now I really am gonna do this." So
Yeah.
I've just booked some stuff, and I'm like, "Okay." So now I think we are
Yeah, exactly.
going.
Yes, going
And
somewhere.
it's nice, yeah.
Yeah, because you can beat yourself up also. That's the danger, when you're like, I haven't done this or that. And it's like, you have to be a good parent to yourself.
Exactly. You have
So
to be your best friend.
Yeah, my therapist told me.
Okay, random questions of the end.
Okay.
What makes you laugh?
You. No.
Okay. Thank you. I know I'm hilarious.
Myself. I make myself laugh a lot. Sometimes I think about strange replies, or like I see a situation or I'm in a conversation, and sometimes I just think of like the most outrageous thing, and I'm like, sometimes I just laugh to myself, and people are like, whoa, what is it? I'm like, oh, it's just funny. And I'm like, what makes me laugh? Yeah. Humanity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite hilarious. It's quite absurd.
I'd rather laugh, yeah. And I think that's also, yeah. Because, yeah, laughing gathers people together.
Yeah.
Just like music.
Yeah.
And that's also why I'm doing music, by the way. Like, really, at the end of the day, it's just we're all in the same boat, and it's like, doesn't matter. And we're all going through daily struggles. But, like, I love performing, like playing gigs, because I think that's the ultimate thing for me. It's a tribal thing, and it just takes over you, and then you don't have to think about like all the other problems, and you can just communicate with strangers this way, even when you're in a crowd, like in a mosh pit, you can just like, hey, it's cool. Like
Yeah.
you don't even need to say hi, just like a nod and a smile or whatever, and it's great.
That's cool, yeah.
And that gives me hope. And so I want to keep I'm going to keep doing this, yeah.
Do you believe in talent?
Wow. Yes, yeah. Oh, very. Which doesn't equate to material success necessarily, but
Yeah.
no, it does. Yeah, some people, but it's work. Yeah, it's funny. I get a bit weird sometimes if people are like, "Oh, you're so talented," and I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't want it to feel like
It's just like this.
Yeah,
But you haven't worked to be there, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. If I never picked the guitar as much as I did back in the day, I wouldn't play really.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd be like playing 2 chords and be okay, but like it's work. Yeah, I mean, everybody would tell you that, everybody. No, I mean,
every good artist.
Yeah, all the big ones. I would tell you that it's like 90% work or something and 10% talent. I think, it's the desire and the push, like the drive, really, that's very important. The energy, could say.
If you could have dinner with anyone, alive or dead,
Oh,
Who would it be?
Oh, wow. That's so many possibilities. Alive or dead? I mean, dead would be probably David Bowie, because I have to say, hey man, like, come on.
Thanks, by the way.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you very much. Made me want to be British, and now I'm like, really? I'm joking. No. Yeah, we could stick to Bowie.
If you could live a parallel life, what would you do?
I'd invent a time machine. Yeah.
To go back?
Yeah, back or...
Future?
Yeah, Back to the Future, like... to do both, yeah. Oh, a teleporting device.
So to go anywhere?
Yeah.
Where would you go right now? After this conversation, of course.
Oh, I'd go home so I don't have to do the traveling back, so I can prepare for my gig tonight.
So you're just using 1% of the capacity of the thing?
No, it would be... No, I think about that. It's like when you have friends who are like in a different country.
Yeah.
And you wish you could just teleport.
Yeah,
That's
to
the
have
main
dinner with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the main thing I would use it for.
Cool.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'll be some scientist of some kind. There's many things I would like to try, actually. I might as well just do them. I think that's my point this year, is to try anything.
Okay, cool.
Like this podcast as well. Like, it's the first time I do this thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
So thank you so much.
that was great. Thank you so much. Oh yeah, I wanted to ask you actually before I stopped the recording. Are you happy to play something with the guitar and just...
Yeah, I am.
Anything.
Oh, wow. Amazing. I'll play a song that I wrote when I was 18. It's about Paris, actually. It's about leaving your own town, and when you come back sometimes for holidays and things are like very weird. You know, even if people haven't changed much, something like it's very different, and you kind of feel like a stranger. Paris is sleeping, but I'm not sleepy. Walking in the same old streets. Still look the same, dear, but am I the same here? This monkey island drove me insane. Whatever happened to the nights we once shared? We were friends. There's some feeling right there if you seek it well. It's just an end. I'm not on my own, but somehow in this song I just feel like a stranger in my own town. Paris is sleeping, but I'm not sleepy. Killing the same old speech. Slide down easily after partying. Gone, my thrill is out of reach. Whatever happened to the people, to the stories? So crazy. Now it's crowded with tourists, so steady at the beauties. They're so lazy, and if Mr. Life was so this, may feel like me, like a stranger in his old town. And the president is so tall, he can't see no trouble at all. And Paris is sleeping, but is it dying? Well, some feelings must die as well. Lovers and friends, I will play again. I know it's not the same. Things must go on and change. It always been and always will. Please be aware, there's no deal. I'm not a ghost, I'm not a stranger. So strange, surreal. I'm so glad to be a stranger by my own town. So glad to be a stranger by my own town. So glad to be strange. The world's deranged. We all love to change. We're so glad to be strangers on our own town. Thank you. Thank you very much. I was a bit rusty, but morning voice.